Hi, I'm Kurt Loder with an MTV News special report on a very sad day. Kurt Cobain, the leader of one of rock's most gifted and promising bands, Nirvana, is dead, and this is the story as we know it so far. Cobain's body was found in a house in Seattle on Friday morning. He was dead of an apparently self-inflicted shotgun blast to the head. Police found what is said to be a suicide note at the scene, but have not yet divulged its contents. Cobain, who was 27, had reportedly been missing for about 6 days, according to his mother.
Did you do it?
No, I didn't. Nope. Did not do it.
Everybody class, bet I pass it. Shit get drastic. I'm burying your bastards. Big
Now, we can report that the British Foreign Secretary Robin Cook, speaking in the Philippines, has just confirmed that Diana, Princess of Wales, has died following the car crash at midnight in Paris.
Hi, I'm Serena Altschul with MTV News. Comic actor Chris Farley was found dead Thursday afternoon in a Chicago apartment. Farley got his start at Chicago's famous Second City Stage Company and came to fame on Saturday Night Live, where he demonstrated his range with such characters as motivational speaker Matt Foley. With fellow SNL alumnus David Spade,
I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people. Thank you.
25, 2001, the world was left in shock when the talented American singer Aaliyah, along with 8 others, tragically lost their lives in a plane crash.
Go on. She played with her tail. the beginning of that sentence. Go on.
The goats ate things.
Go on.
He ate cans and he ate cans.
Try that again. Get ready.
He ate cans and he ate cans.
Good job. Go on.
He ate cans and he ate cans.
Go on.
He even ate cows and cats.
Try that again. Get ready.
What's this other jet doing? What's this other jet doing? Holy fuck!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Jesus fucking Christ! Chrissy!
Don't touch it.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh no!
There's another one. I'm taking a look.
Oh my god! Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! I've never played this weather tower. Oh my god.
Wow.
I'm across the river. Oh my god!
Yes, that is the second. That is the second tower. That is the second tower.
It's unfathomable, and it was terrifying.
What happened?
It was an explosion. He was in the lobby and then fucking the third explosion, the whole lobby collapsed on us.
What was it like? What was it like?
Hard.
Yes, pick her up. That one.
An abandoned strip mine. When he arrived, he couldn't believe his eyes.
It looked like someone had gouged about a 10-foot wide, 10-foot deep trough.
And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
America strikes back. Afghanistan is pounded with bombs and missiles from the air and sea.
We are supported by the collective will of the world.
Homeland Security has stepped up to protect against retaliation, and bin Laden himself sends a videotaped threat to the American people.
On my orders, the United States military has begun strikes against al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alone there. It's just a sprinkling for the May Queen.
Let's go live to Cardinal Law.
I wish to address the issue of sexual abuse of minors by clergy. And when I have finished this statement, I'll be happy to take questions that you might have on this statement as I have presented it. At the outset, I apologize once again to all those who have been sexually abused as minors by priests. Today, that apology is made in a special way with heartfelt sorrow to those abused by John Gagan. There is no way for me to adequately describe the evil of such acts. All sexual abuse is morally abhorrent. Sexual abuse of minors is particularly abhorrent. Such abuse by clergy adds to the heinous nature of the acts. It affects a victim's relationship with the church. A child's ability to trust is shattered by such abuse, and self-esteem is often damaged.
Hurricane Katrina. Katrina struck 3 times. The first on August 25th, 2005, as a Category 1 near Miami, Florida. The second landfall occurred August 29th in Plaquemine Parish, Louisiana, as a Category 3. And then it officially made a third landfall at Mississippi's Gulf Coast. In all, Katrina killed over 1,300 people across 5 states.
Down 1.7% here, a loss of 37 points or so. Apple shares are just getting hammered this morning.
We're down by between 3 and 4.5% generally across these markets. Let's talk about the speed with which we are watching this market deteriorate. We're red everywhere, essentially, down by 4-5%.
We're down over 16%. Dow at the same time has fallen about 18%.
The stock market is now down 21%.
Because we're now down 43%.
What in the world is happening on Wall Street?
2-year note yields went from 190 to 166 in the blink of an eye.
On the NASDAQ, everything and more has been completely wiped out.
It was the worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987.
From the financial capital of the world, the opening bell is going to ring in 5 seconds, and to be honest with you, we wish it wouldn't.
Traders here working the phone say a lot of their customers are freaked out, waiting to see how low the Dow will go. They're focused on the Dow, not so focused on OPEC. Yes, OPEC did cut production by 1.5 million barrels per day.
Really, you're seeing just broad-based declines across all of the major technology sectors. Apple's under pressure, Yahoo down 8.5%, Cisco 6.5%, Research in Motion 10%.
And we're not getting the bid wanted. We're not getting the stop trading, and we see where the buyers are. We're just every day they're pounding it.
The heightened financial turmoil that we have experienced of late may well lengthen the period of weak economic performance and further increase the risk to growth.
Can't look at it after you buy it because it's so horrible.
But we've had an 8-day losing streak in the Dow that in percentage terms puts it on par, close to the loss suffered in that crash in 1987, close to that percentage loss those 2 days in 1929.
What started in America last year has now spread to every part of the world.
We're down 9% today. The Xetra DAX over in Frankfurt is down by 9%. The Paris market down by 9%. Austria, which was briefly suspended earlier on in the day, is down by nearly 11%.
This market is as volatile as you'll ever see.
Traders saying this is the craziest day they have ever seen in these markets. Veteran traders saying they've never seen anything like it. The movement in oil prices so fast, so fast.
Seconds ago until the start of trading at the New York Stock Exchange, and stocks are set to kick off lower, a whole lot lower.
eBay is down 6.5%. And really, you're seeing just broad-based declines across all of the major technology sectors. Apple's under pressure, Yahoo down 8.5%, Cisco 6.5%, Research in Motion 10%.
This could be the most serious recession in decades. And that means life, as most Americans know it, is about to change, in some cases dramatically.
What is a 36-year-old man doing sleeping with a 12-year-old boy, or a series of them? Right. Okay, when you say boys, it's not just boys, and I've never invited just boys to come in my room. Come on, that's ridiculous. And that's a ridiculous question. But since people want to hear it, the answer, I'll be happy to answer it. I have never invited anyone into my bed, ever. Children love me, I love them, they follow me, they want to be with me. I could never harm a child or anyone. It's not in my heart. It's not who I am. And it's not what I'm not even interested in that.
In breaking news, there are unconfirmed reports that Michael Jackson has died in a Los Angeles hospital.
We don't have any other independent confirmation as of yet, just the TMZ website reporting that Michael Jackson has died this evening.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective.
Glare at her. They didn't like her. They would shake their heads when they'd see pictures of her dancing on tables and everything. Nobody knows where she is, but all we know is that Mom, Casey Anthony, was out partying when she should have been looking for her daughter.
How come everybody's saying that you're not upset, that you're not crying, that you show no caring of where Kaylee is at all? I'm not sitting here crying every 2 seconds because I have to stay composed to talk to detectives. You have to tell me if you know anything about Kaylee. Sweetheart, if anything happens with Kaylee Casey, I'll die. You understand? I'll die. If anything happens to that baby. Oh my God. Calling you guys? A waste. Huge waste.
-O. As to the charge of first-degree murder, verdict as to count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty, so say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, on this 5th day of July, 2011, signed foreperson.
This is an ABC News special report.
To update you on the situation, if you're just now joining us, at least 14 dead, 50 injured. A lot of those injuries are severe after a lone gunman opens fire in a theater outside of Denver, Colorado, in Aurora.
Tonight, the details are still pouring in. There are 27 victims, 20 children, 7 adults. And we've heard all day about the incredible response by teachers inside the school, which is considered one of the leading schools in the nation.
We've endured too many of these tragedies in the past few years. And each time I learn the news, I react not as a president, but as anybody else would, as a parent. And that was especially true today. I know there's not a parent in America who doesn't feel the same overwhelming grief that I do. The majority of those who died today were children. Beautiful little kids between the ages of 5 and 10 years old. They had their entire lives ahead of them. Birthdays, graduations, weddings, kids of their own. Among the fallen were also teachers, men and women who devoted their lives to helping our children fulfill their dreams. So our hearts are broken today.
No, that's not one of your recordings. What the hell was that? Oh my God! Something blew up! Something blew up! Oh my God! Something happened! Holy shit!
New details this morning on the deaths of Fast and Furious star Paul Walker and his friend killed in a fiery car accident over the weekend. Investigators working right now to determine the cause of the wreck.
In the initial moments when you were witnessing what happened, take us back to that.
Sure. We heard the news while we were in Donetsk, which is about an hour and a half drive from here. There were a few sort of news flashes on the wires that a plane had been brought down, a civilian plane potentially. So we drove out here and found a sort of strange scene of smoke rising over this hillside, rebels kind of waving us through checkpoints, which they normally don't do. And we found, I think, what I said last night still stands. I mean, it's a total disaster and a total tragedy. And looking at it now in daylight, I mean, you wander through these fields and you pretty much have to watch every step, because if you don't, you could step on a person's organ. I mean, it's like it was raining body parts.
This flight MH370 lost contact with air traffic control.
Flight MH370, one of the greatest mysteries in the history of civil aviation. On March 8, 2014, a Boeing 777 belonging to Malaysian Airlines suddenly disappeared from radar screens with 239 people on board. It will never be seen again.
Anguish becomes anger. For the families of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, days of waiting turned to weeks, and now almost 10 months.
On August 11th, 2014, at approximately 11:55 a.m., Marin County Communications received a 911 telephone call reporting that a male adult had been located unconscious and not breathing inside his residence. The caller was distraught and indicated at that time that was an apparent suicide due to a hanging had taken place and that rigor mortis had set in.
I don't know if anybody out there can relate, but like, I have a hard time with life sometimes. Right. Sometimes it's great, but a lot of times for me, it's really hard. And no matter how I'm feeling, like, I always find myself like struggling with certain patterns of behavior. I find myself like stuck in like the same thing that keeps repeating over and over again. And I'm just like, how am I in this? And it's that moment where you're in it and then you kind of separate yourself from that situation and you look at it and you see it for what it is. And you're able to then do something about it. Like
the outpouring of support after the tragic death of Linkin Park's lead singer Chester Bennington, the Grammy Award-winning father of 6, believed to have taken his life at his home in California. ABC's Gio Benitez is here with new details about his private struggle. Such an incredibly sad story, Gio.
Garden and later audio slave has died. Cornell's representative calling his death, quote, sudden and unexpected, saying his wife and family were shocked. The singer-songwriter was touring with Soundgarden and had just finished a performance in Detroit hours before his death. Chris Cornell was just 52 years old.
I told him the devil,
100%.
the devil
himself.
The devil himself said, "I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life."
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
Some breaking news right now. Disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein has taken his own life while he was behind bars here in New York City. Epstein was facing sex trafficking charges. NBC News investigative correspondent Tom Winter now has the very latest. Tom, what more do we know?
Peter, what we know now is that at 6:39 this morning, the fire department and EMS here in New York City got a phone call from MCC, which is a federal detention facility here in Manhattan in New York City, where Jeffrey Epstein was being held awaiting trial.
The virus was traced back to this now closed seafood and meat market, but tests have so far failed to isolate a source.
As of this morning, there have been 571 cases confirmed by the Chinese government, and 17 people are reported to have died of this new strain of respiratory illness.
We're working very closely with China and other countries, and we think it's going to have a very good ending for us, so that I can assure you.
At the conference today, they gave the virus a name, COVID-19, coronavirus disease.
This is the worst public health crisis for a generation.
To keep new cases from entering our shores, we will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days.
The International Olympic Committee, the view of athletics was to postpone the games.
The latest from the hospital is that the Prime Minister remains in intensive care, where his condition is improving.
Death is a reality in this situation, and we're there for people when the sometimes sadly inevitable happens.
Today, the reopening of Disney in Shanghai is allowing 20,000 people to do just that.
The infection rates in Brazil are staggering. The government wants the country to open up, but it feels too early. They've not reached the peak yet, and there could be much worse to come.
Specific COVID-19. That name gets further and further away from China as opposed to calling it the Chinese virus.
there's never a guarantee that you're going to get a safe and effective vaccine. We feel cautiously optimistic that we will have a vaccine by the end of this year and as we go into 2021.
I've missed playing with my friends and seeing all of my teachers and doing some new learning.
Let me say, on behalf of the President and the First Lady, how moved we've all been by the outpouring of prayers for the President. And I do believe it's emblematic of the prayers and the concern that have ushered forth for every American impacted by the coronavirus.
As we come together now to fight this second wave, I want to say something about when will this all end. I am optimistic that this will feel very different by the spring.
This really is still a public health emergency, and to please consistently wear a mask and practice social distancing.
But the fact is, I had it. It worked out well. Now I'm immune. I could run up and kiss this whole group of people, men and women.
Does the progress towards a vaccine that's been announced today mean that we are at the beginning of the end of our trouble?
I'm about to die, you see. Relax. Man, I can't breathe my face. Just get up.
He's gotta be on something.
What do you want? I can't breathe. Please, the knee in my neck. I can't breathe shit.
Bro, get up, get in the car, man.
I will.
Get up, get in the car.
I can't move. Mama.
On a weed pipe on him, there might be something else with it. Might be like PCP or something. Is that the shaking of the eyes, right? Is PCP?
My knee, my neck.
Where their eyes like shake back and forth really fast.
Oh, you think that's cool? You think that's cool really though, right? What's your oh man, what's your badge number, bro? You think that's cool right now, bro?
You'll call police on another police.
You think that's cool though, bro? You're a bum, bro. You're a bum for that. You're a bum for that, bro. You getting mad. You just sitting there stopping his breathing right now. You're about to go out right now, bro.
Look at him.
Get
off of him now. What is wrong with y'all? What the fuck? He got made. He got made.
Overnight, growing national unrest. In New York City, dozens of looters seen kicking in windows and breaking into stores across Midtown Manhattan. Macy's iconic flagship ransacked, reports of fires set inside. The chaos coming after a day of peaceful protests across the city. In Seattle overnight, a face-off between protesters and police escalated quickly. Officers working to break up the crowd with tear gas and flashbangs. NBC News correspondent Jolene Kent caught in the chaos.
Oh my gosh.
But able to evacuate safely. In Washington, D.C., military helicopters seen flying low, appearing to try and clear protesters. Craig was there.
The flashbangs are continuing to go off. Tear gas is being used. The protesters are being forced back.
This woman, who appeared to be injured, was carried to safety.
So that is a red flag right there, bloody glove, whatever you want to call it. Darian found this. See that cabinet? Keep a note of that. Samaya cabinet. $13,000 for that cabinet. what these people do, I'll tell you in a second. Samaya is a girl that actually went missing not too long ago, just months ago, and in Ohio. What they do is when they're selling these children on these sites, they hide it, and they make astronomical prices for cheap goods, and they change the names, exactly like you're seeing here. Same cabinet, different name, different price. How's that possible? Yuritsa's storage cabinet. Yuritsa is also someone, as she dug, 16-year-old girl who went missing on June 10th, 2020. This could be coincidence, but seems a little odd. Annabelle Wilson went missing May 13th, 2020. She's 14 years old. And we have a cabinet here called Annabelle 5, $10,899 for what appears to be a shitty cabinet. Same cabinet as the first two. Kyla, different name, different price. And when we dig here, Kyla went missing January 25th, 2020 in Ohio, which was the same as the first one.
Somebody sent it to me. I would not advise you to have a look at it. She and her spokeswoman, they put a 5-year-old girl naked on a table, bind it, and then with a scalpel they start to remove the face.
Oh my God.
And you hear this child screaming, and they take off the face, and Hillary Clinton puts it on her face and goes to the child. And you see, the child is all flesh, and then the eyes pour out, and this child sees her own face on the face of Clinton. I will never forget that image, and never the scream. That's how evil these people are.
Well, Pizzagate. It became a major story weeks ago when an armed man decided to investigate a D.C. area pizza place for himself. This man right here, he carried a rifle into a pizza parlor and then fired it at the floor. Media is telling you the entire story is a hoax or fake news. But what does that even mean? I spent the last month investigating. So what exactly is Pizzagate? And are there any actual facts to support the story? I've got to warn you, what we're going to talk about tonight will be disturbing to some people. But this is a reality check you won't see anywhere else. Pizzagate actually comes from the WikiLeaks release of hacked emails from Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta. In all, WikiLeaks dumped around 50,000 email messages, and it was from those emails that the claims that John Podesta may be part of a child sex trafficking ring come from. Now, to be clear, not one single email in the Podesta emails discusses child sex trafficking or pedophilia. That is a fact. But there are dozens of what seem to be strangely worded emails dealing with pizza and handkerchiefs. Self-described online investigators say that those words in the emails about pizza and the talk of handkerchiefs is code language used by pedophiles. So how did a DC pizza parlor get pulled into the story? Well, again, read any mainstream report and they indicate that Comet Ping Pong Pizza was somehow linked to this fake story and has no relation to anyone involved. But the truth is that's not true either. What media is ignoring is that the Comet Ping Pong Pizza place is actually referenced in the Podesta emails at least a dozen or so times, and that the owner of that place, James Alfantis, is a friend of John Podesta. He was actually named, this is kind of strange, by GQ magazine as one of the top 50 most powerful people in Washington. Yes, we're talking about a pizza parlor owner. Now let's talk facts here. There is no solid evidence that Comet Ping Pong Pizza is being used to run a child sex trafficking ring. But there are some very strange connections between Comet Ping Pong Pizza and a second pizza place 2 doors over, Besta Pizza, and the accusations of pedophilia. Now this is where things start to get strange when you research this story. Now to begin, I need to show you a 2007 unclassified FBI document. That document, according to the FBI, contains commonly used symbols by pedophiles to express their preference in children. I want you to see these images here. These are the images. Notice this one on the end, the triangle. That image signifies something called boy love. The pizza place next door to Comet Ping Pong Pizza, Besta Pizza, well, this was their logo until only a few weeks ago. Clearly you can see that the Besta logo actually contains the same image, I'm going to show you again, as that boy lover image. Interestingly, after Pizzagate investigators pointed this out, Besta Pizza changed their logo, and there it is now. They removed the triangle. Also, Comet Ping Pong, owned by Alfantis, is the place where a number of performance artists perform regularly. 2 of the groups that perform there, who you can see advertised, by the way, on this Comet Ping Pong poster, include a group called Heavy Breathing and another group called Sex Stains. Well, if you check out the YouTube videos by these bands, Heavy Breathing has songs that do joke about pedophilia, and the band Sex Stains has a video that includes, and you see it right there, that same boy lover symbol.
Have developed treatments and vaccines.
We are delivering millions of doses of a safe and effective vaccine.
Of thousands who have put themselves on the line to prove to the country and the world that these are safe and effective products.
providing their recommendations on the safety and efficacy of the vaccines in adolescents.
Process to make sure that both that it's safe and that it's effective.
The vaccines, that they are safe and effective, and that they can go and get those shots and be good.
Vaccines are so rigorously studied and have proven to be both very safe and very effective.
Because there's a lot that goes into proving that a vaccine is both safe and effective.
Researchers have confirmed that the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID vaccine is safe and effective.
That this vaccine is safe and effective. It protects against illness in 70%.
COVID-19 vaccination is safe and effective for children.
From an NIH study indicating that getting a booster different from your original vaccination is likely safe and effective.
Breaking news from Pfizer, the company now saying its COVID-19 vaccine is safe and effective for kids aged 5 to 11.
The European Medicines Agency assessed this vaccine thoroughly, and it concluded that it is safe and effective against COVID-19.
All of the vaccines that have achieved WHO EUL can be considered safe and highly effective in preventing severe disease and hospitalization due to COVID-19.
My name is Tiffany Dofer, and I am the manager in CCU. For my team, we are in the COVID unit, so therefore, my team will be getting first chances to get the vaccine. And I know that it's really, I'm sorry, I'm feeling really dizzy. I'm sorry.
Horrible sight. Attention urgently needed.
They are super fit individuals who would be highly unlikely to die of heart attack. They are in the prime of their lives. They're being superbly looked after and monitored. If there's any suggestion of heart disease, they wouldn't be allowed to play. I think the overwhelming probability is that these deaths were directly related to the known complications of vaccination and booster doses.
We have a breach of the Capitol! Breach of the Capitol! We need to hold the doors of the Capitol. We lost the line. We lost the line. All MPDs get back. All MPDs get back up to the upper deck. All MPDs get back to the upper deck.
Peaceful people. These were great people. The crowd was unbelievable. And I mentioned the word love, the love in the air. I've never seen anything like it.
You walk through the Capitol, the Rotunda, for 10 minutes, walk back through an open door, walk back out, and you were found guilty on 4 misdemeanors by a jury, of a Washington, D.C. jury. You were found guilty. And and the penalties for that are up to 3 years in a federal prison. Am I correct in that?
That's what my attorney said. Yep, I just reconfirmed with my attorney, John Pierce, and his firm. They said that. I thought it was less than that, but they said it could be up to 3 years, according to all the charges that I was charged with, for peacefully going into the Capitol. I went there to pray.
My own country's treating me like a criminal. It's because I believe that they stole the rightful president. And just standing up for my country, it makes me a criminal. And it's just not right. It feels so weird to be here.
What's your guys' names?
Gabby.
Gabby, Brian, okay.
It was the stop that could have changed everything.
Did he hit you though? I mean, it's okay if you're saying you hit him, and then I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth if he actually hit you.
I guess, yeah, but I hit him first.
Thanks for joining us on the WATL. I'm Natisha Lance. A body believed to be 22-year-old Gabby Petito was found in the Wyoming National Forest Sunday. Petito's family reported her missing on September 11th, just weeks after they last heard from her in late August. She had been on a cross-country trip with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, who is a person of interest in her disappearance.
The Russian president says a military operation is now underway in eastern Ukraine. Ukraine has declared a state of emergency.
The full-scale invasion that intelligence officials had been warning about for weeks is now underway, and there are reports of explosions and attacks at several major Ukrainian cities. Starting in the city of Kiev, there has been reports of explosions.
This video from Ukraine's National Border Guard Service. It is said to be surveillance camera video, so it's silent. But what you can see in these pictures, a road near the border with Belarus. And you can see what Ukrainian officials say is a column of Russian armor crossing into Ukrainian territory from the north. This is more video from the Ukrainian Border Guard Service, this time from the south. And officials say that shows Russian military trucks and other forces crossing into Ukraine from Crimea. So they are coming in from the north, from the south, from very much everywhere.
Around the world, outrage is growing after Russian missiles targeted a maternity and children's hospital in Mariupol during a temporary ceasefire. 3 people, including a child, were killed.
He's expected to sign an executive order requiring the majority of federal employees in this country and government contractors to be vaccinated now without that option of testing, meaning vaccines. They need the vaccination in order to work, federal workers. And companies with 100 or more employees, it's believed, will also have to ensure that workers are vaccinated or tested weekly. All of this comes as the U.S. now averages more than 140,000 new COVID cases a day.
Okay. We'll find out if everybody's all right.
I was on the phone with the police officer.
Oh, that was you? Okay. You're so brave. You're so brave.
I was trying not to cry.
Okay.
I'm in the classroom. Classroom number 1012. 112. 112, yes, ma'am.
What's your name, ma'am?
Chloe Toy, please hurry. There's a lot of dead bodies. He shot my friends and my teachers, and then after that he said good night, and he started shooting everybody. Everybody was scared. We were all panicking because we didn't know what was really happening. Can you tell the police to come to my room?
I already told them to go to the room. We're trying to get them.
Yes, and Mike and Rebecca, 19 of the 21 victims are kids believed to range between the ages of 7 to just 10 years old.
That revelation comes just one day after the director of the Texas Department of Public Safety outlined a series of failures in the response to the school shooting that left 19 children and 2 teachers dead. Training materials obtained by Fox 4 show that no matter what, officers must stop the shooter before anything else. DPS says instead, under the direction of the Uvalde CISD Chief Pete Arredondo, officers waited outside the classroom where the killing happened for a more experienced team.
Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
On August 8, 2023, a wildfire tore through Lahaina, Maui. In a single night, more than 100 lives were lost, and thousands of homes and businesses were reduced to ashes.
October 7th, the nation woke up to a nightmare.
Exactly what Israel had promised Israelis would never happen to them, happened to them.
I gotta be careful the way I say this. They're gonna try to ethnically cleanse Gaza. I mean, I don't use that term lightly, okay? They're talking about basically removing 2.5 million people from there, okay? And honestly, they have a mandate to go seek justice and revenge. They do.
He will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. We don't need the wars. Foreign lands, countries you've never heard of, countries that don't even want us there. No, we were crazy what we did.
Well, on July 13th, 2024, while speaking at a public rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, Trump was supposedly shot in the ear by a would-be assassin. A photographer captured this moment of Trump rising defiantly before all the world with a bloodied ear.
Fox News decides Donald Trump is president of the United States. We've got our republic back, folks.
Let's go.
There it is.
Everybody should remember this moment. Look, I'm gonna echo Charlie from earlier. Remember where you were when this happened. Remember where you were when you realized that the Uniparty and all of these, just the establishment, you said it's time to actually participate. And look what you guys have done.
And if anyone deserves to get tears in his eyes, it's Charlie. I think we all agree. I think Erica was chopping some onions or something in the break room. No one has worked harder than Charlie for this.
We gotta hear some words here from you, Charlie. You put all this together, my man. Let's hear it.
I am just humbled by God. It's all God. It's all God. God alone. God alone. Decision desk has it. Pennsylvania. It's done. It's beginning.
Epstein, how was he described to you?
I met Epstein a few times. Epstein knew a lot about taxes. He was described as one of the smartest tax people in the world.
Interesting.
I saw your appearance at CPAC with Ben and with Ted Cruz, and one of the things that you alluded to, and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So last week that you have the Epstein files on your desk is when can we see them and what's taking so long to release them?
I do. Jesse, there are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims. 200. So we have, well over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected and their personal information. But other than that, I think tomorrow, the personal information of victims. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office.
What kind? Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Yeah. What you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information. But it's pretty sick what that man did.
Okay. Well,
along with his co-defendant.
Absolutely. And he had help. That's for sure.
He sure did.
Overnight, the FBI and Justice Department releasing 11 hours of footage they say helps confirm notorious financier Jeffrey Epstein died by suicide in his Manhattan jail cell in 2019, awaiting his sex trafficking trial. According to a memo detailing the findings, investigators found the video showed no one entering the area in the overnight hours before Epstein was found unresponsive. But perhaps the biggest bombshell, investigators say they found no incriminating client list of Epstein's, no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals, and no evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. For years, Epstein has been at the center of conspiracies surrounding both his death and a rumored client list allegedly used to blackmail powerful men. And just last month, while feuding with President Trump, Elon Musk posting, "Time to drop the really big bomb. @real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump." But Musk later deleted that post and others, saying he went too far in attacking Trump. The president saying he cut ties with Epstein nearly 2 decades ago, saying even Epstein's lawyer cleared him.
So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox News.
Got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that.
By the way, I never went to the island. I never had the privilege of going to his island, and I did turn it down.
I was 14 years old. I was 16 years old. I was 16. 17. 14 years old. This is me. This was me. This is me.
When I met Jeffrey Epstein.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein. There are about 1,000 of us. It's time to bring the secrets out of the shadows. It's time to shine a light into the darkness.
Are you coming to the tree? They strung up a man. They say we were free. Strange things that happened here. Stranger would it be? We met and lived right in the hanging tree.
Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the death?
Yeah, sure. If
could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this.
Epstein's house right there? No way. We're in fucking Epstein's backyard. What are those?
Are those little kid chairs? Like, what the fuck are they?
Oh, hell no.
Make sure we don't go to war against Iran, which would be a profound mistake for our country. So that's a really, really important thing. Drill, baby, drill domestically. Peace in the Middle East, peace with Russia, Ukraine. You'll see gas prices go down to $30 a barrel. Charlie, what does that mean? $1.75 a gallon. That's what it means, okay?
This is more Israel pushing for Iran, but is that America's problem? That's a question. I mean, maybe the answer is yes. Maybe the answer is, you know what? They were wrong about Iraq. They were wrong about Syria. They were wrong about Afghanistan. They were wrong about the Taliban. They were wrong about Libya. They were wrong about the Arab Spring. They were wrong about Yemen. They were wrong about the Arabian Peninsula. They were wrong about the 9/11 hijackers being Saudi Arabian. But hey, 10th time's a charm. This time we're actually right. Yeah, you're going to have to earn our trust on this one.
So it's just like this war with Iran is a weird fanatical obsession with some people in my party that are here right now, like Senator Lindsey Graham. Yep. And it's insane and it's weird and it's destructive to our own country. And I speak about it both publicly and privately. And you know who also is sympathetic when I'm saying? J.D. Vance. And so that's a fact.
I feel the connection to Israel, but at the same time, simultaneously, when the hostile reaction is that now Meghan and Charlie are enemies, right? Boy, I'll tell you, like you're not gonna, I won't say lose, but you will weaken and just basically deflate two of your strongest advocates if that continues. We've pushed back against the media on COVID, on lockdowns, on Ukraine, on the border, so like maybe we should also ask a question. Is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, you know, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says, because I know I've been conditioned to ask a lot more critical questions over the last couple of years. So Ben, some people would accuse Israel of wanting to ethnically cleanse. Some people in the Israeli government are saying, again, it's all over the place, right? You have opinions all over. In your opinion, what would a good outcome 5 years from now be? And how does one respond to the claims of ethnic cleansing?
Not counting gang violence. Great.
Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propaganda minister, said that the bigger the lie, the faster it will spread. Well, somebody has fabricated a monstrous big lie that Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's horrific murder. This is insane. It is false. It is outrageous. Charlie Kirk was a giant, a once-in-a-century talent who defended freedom, defended America, defended our common Judeo-Christian civilization. Charlie loved Israel.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie. Can I ask Kurt Cobain, how are you holding up for the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House.
Yeah. And when, in this moment, I know there's a lot of people online. We hear you that are saying different things and that they're processing their guilt in the way that their grief, their grief. Thank you, and their mourning in the way that they know how.
It's just, I feel so blessed.
It's those little things where, again, he would walk through the door, drop his bags, Daddy's home, take his phone, Friday night, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Venezuela. They're in cahoots with the Maduro regime. You know, they're exporting terrorism to America, to the American hemisphere, and then they want these Hezbollah and Hamas to get their guys into the United States. So Hamas and Iran's and its proxies are a threat not only to us, but to Israel, all America's allies in the Middle East, and to America itself.
Mira, pero ven acá, no se metan para acá, no sabemos qué hay ahí que se queda aquí. Sí.
Ahorita se prendió en candela, weón.
Viene otro, viene otro, viene otro. Dale, vamos a salir aquí. Dale, dale, dale.
As the U.S. and Israel launch military strikes, President Trump declares the supreme leader of Iran is dead.
Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime.
This may be a very significant symbolic and operational blow, but it is not the end of the operation, at least as described by President Trump.
Iran has launched a counterattack on U.S. bases across the Middle East.
The UAE. Kuwait is on alert. Qatar, missiles coming in and missiles being intercepted. There's another one.
The future of the Middle East as America enters into war with Iran.
Our senators are willing to send our men and women to die for Israel.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Let's go. Come on, let's go. America does not want to send its sons and daughters to war for Israel. Your inability to name that shows your exemptness as leaders. This is wrong. And nobody wants to fight for Israel.
Just a reminder to all our
Commandant, please stand up as a Marine and stand up for America. No one wants to fight for Israel. What?
از اینجا میاد از اینجا
خیلی آدرنالین بیشتر میخوان
But the only ones that need to be worried right now are Iranians that think they're going to live.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن يا فاطمه زهرا يا فاطمه زهرا کمکم کن کمکم کن يا فاطمه زهرا اللهم صل على محمد
सामने बढ़ाओ
The U.S. Army making some changes to try and draw more recruits. The Army just increased the maximum enlistment age to 42. That's up from 35.
Oh, shit.